wanted to be a photographer owning your own business the way you did, how hard is it to build enough clientele that you can afford to pay the bills?
Yeah, so I mean, it takes some years to build it up. So what I recommend is doing what I did, start early, start while you're in college. I actually started way back in high school. So I was doing freelance jobs here and there, of course, for less money, less clients in the beginning, but it really snowballs on itself. So the more clients you have, the more word of mouth you build. So they'll tell their friends, and then when they get married, they go to you, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, if you crunch your own numbers, if you know how much you charge for your services, you'll know how many clients you need to kind of sustain a salary to get you by, and then it really only goes up from there.
And so would you say most of your new business is word of mouth? Like what percentage?
99% is word of mouth. I, in the beginning of my business, did a lot of paid advertising, so I did Google AdWords, Facebook ads, print ads in like magazines, and to be honest, I would maybe get one lead from each of those things, and now word of mouth is incredible. Recently I shot a wedding over this past summer, and my clients just blow about me. They basically do my advertising for me. So they rave about me on Facebook, they tell their friends. I even had that specific couple, I guess it was like a friend of a friend, was having a bar mitzvah for her daughter, and she had already booked another photographer and paid a deposit. But because this bride was glowing about me, she literally gave up that deposit to book with me. So no amount of paid advertising can convince someone as much as word of mouth. It's incredible, yeah. So that's why it's really important to just give your clients the best client experience. It's worth it. Questions about Montclair?
Did you live on campus or commute?
Yep, I lived on campus all 4 years. Yep, so I lived Freeman Hall 2 years and the Village 2 years. I commuted. A lot of people commute though, yeah.
What's the experience like, in comparison? You're living on campus.
I lived here basically, although I commuted. So I think you just get so invested in the work too, that even if you commute, the departments are so family-like in a sense as well, community-based, that I was here all the time.
Yep. So I would say living on campus makes it easier to be here all the time, literally. So basically it's much easier to, after your classes, go into the studio to work on your projects or meet with friends or shoot on campus or whatever. Yeah, so the only, basically like she said, if you're a commuter, it's just getting here to work on your projects. But I love living here, yeah. It's cold, but I love living here. Yeah.
What student organizations were you both involved with, and which ones were your favorite?
I was an undergraduate admissions ambassador, and I started doing that since I was, I did it when I was a freshman through. Extremely valuable. Just a great way to meet people like yourselves, right? So I did touring around campus. It helped me learn more about the opportunities at Montclair as well. So beyond just graphic design or visual communications, and I learned more about the residential halls and the different opportunities at the student center. It was a great way to build leadership and just communication skills as well. That was a huge experience for myself.
And I'll be honest, I can't really remember any specific organization I was a part of the whole time. I kind of like went with friends to different organizations, but I kind of just dove into my course load. I took a minimum of 18 credits the entire time I was here, 18 to 21. My last semester I took 15 credits, so I basically just piled on my course load. So I really didn't, yeah, unfortunately no, but I loved what I was doing, so it was totally fine for me.
For each one of you, which was your favorite course that you took in class?
Okay, so my favorite photography course was commercial photography with Kyle Schnitzer. And my favorite business class, they started the program last year here, unfortunately, but there's a great business class called Entrepreneurial Mindset, which was like dead on perfect. It was actually very art-based and creativity-based and how to innovate and come up with new ideas, but it also talked a lot about business basics, how to start your own business, and things like that.
I have two. I liked Design and Visual Culture with Jonathan Schropp, which was a fantastic overview of the history of design and just, all the different aspects that go into understanding visual communications. And Anthony was my professor for Advanced 2 in graphic design, and this is right while you're preparing to graduate. And I think one of the most valuable experiences I received out of this was not only a sense of mentorship, but also the dynamic of how the class is taught. So it's really giving you the opportunity to understand how to manage your time, how to manage your workload and your projects, and that's very true to what you have in beyond graduation, right? So I think there's a nice sense of dynamic there where you're able to build skills and understanding how to speak with a team or with a mentor and really build a portfolio that's going to be successful when you graduate.
Maybe this one is more for Jessica, but
Sure.
you mentioned about SBA and knowing what's going on in the business.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about, I'm always hearing how there are fields that are hiring artists that
Sure.
in the past you would never think would hire artists. Where do you see new opportunities opening up for people with any type of artistic ability?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what's really valuable about an undergrad degree at Montclair is, so visual communications is a BFA, right? But what I'm getting at SBA is an MPS degree, so it's a Master's of Professional Studies. It's the equivalent of an MBA, but it's more focused just on branding. So I think with the industry as we're seeing it right now, to have applied for the program as a designer, right, and having my experience be in the art field or in the art and design field, to apply that to a business degree now is very interesting because the industry is looking for, I want to say that multifaceted in the sense that it's special to be a designer and have that kind of skill set then in a business sense. So when you're looking to open up your opportunities in the professional field, like myself, I'm working as a brand designer, but I'm heading up a lot of marketing and communications. I have a different seat at the table in a sense when you can combine a lens that's design, but also have the vocabulary or the knowledge that is business and understanding a lot of what Lin's talked about in her business herself. So I think SBA is valuable in the master's degree as far as to have a focused degree like that. And I think what is really unique coming out of Montclair is you're going to get a very well-rounded perspective of everything that could go into it. So a lot of what I learned here has allowed me to have a larger conversation in my master's program. And I think that kind of combination is very valuable in the industry. So branding is specific to myself, but it's a lot of strategy work, so it's business strategy as well. And I think employers are absolutely looking for artists, designers that also have that sense of vocabulary.
I'll just add one more thing. Also, not being a designer, but I have some friends who are graphic designers for other companies. So to be a graphic designer, you don't have to work at a graphic design firm. I know like friends who are the in-house designer at a completely unrelated business. So a construction company might have an in-house graphic designer. And also personally, I have my own business. I'm a photographer. And a lot of people like me outsource their graphic design to freelance graphic designers. So they'll do their websites for them, their business cards, their logos. So the options are really endless. Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you guys say that what you're doing now, like your career now, like you want to do for the rest of your life, like that's your set, like that's what you want to do, you don't want to second thoughts? Like I remember you said you had multiple spots before you came to where you are now.
Sure.
Would you say that that's where you want to stay? Like you would leave your...
Yeah, so my route was interesting because when I graduated, I worked as a book cover designer. I actually, through my advanced 2 class, Anthony had brought in a panel, if you'd say, of professionals that reviewed our portfolio. And one of them was John Gall, who's a fantastic book cover designer, and he reviewed my work, and he actually connected me with Gabrielle Wilson, where I went to, and then to Simon & Schuster, and doing book cover design was fantastic, and I really love and enjoy it, but I'm very passionate about design and strategy in combination, and branding really helped me to find that. So I think right now where I am is perfect in the sense of what I want to do, but I think having different experiences is very valuable. So even in my master's program, I'm able to have larger conversation because I've understood publishing, or I've understood pharmaceutical, or I've understood business strategy, and all of that is very valuable to the world of brand.
And I would definitely say yes. I am one of the very few people who knew what they wanted to do very early on. I first got interested in photography when I was 14, and I'm 25 now, so that's almost half my life. And I have not really wavered whatsoever. The only way I wavered was from fashion to weddings. But yeah, I think if anything, I might kind of shift my direction, so maybe shooting different types of things, but in terms of photography, I absolutely love it. I love what I do.
What are some other fields you could go into, like using the skills from wedding photography? Because I feel like a lot of the photos that we would be like still like kind of portraits and stuff, but I don't necessarily want to go into weddings.
Okay, so you're saying what other fields of photography are there, or?
Well, I'm saying like using those same techniques.
Okay, so like you like the way of shooting a wedding, but you don't necessarily want to do weddings, or? If you like events that aren't weddings, there's a huge field of wedding or event photography, or product photography is a great one. Like I said, some companies have in-house product photographers. Portraits, just like headshots, professional portraiture.